All right, looks like we are live. Good morning, good morning. Welcome everybody. I am Jamie Ray and we are doing Explore the Body. We're gonna do twist today. We can ring it all out, all the stuck. Get some movement in the body and clear the spine. So, welcome to Yoga for Love. Online Healing Arts Center. And just in case, we will be using some tools for this, and if you don't have any, we can maybe make do with something. You can get like a towel to roll up to use in place of this. In the future, you'll know. This is a, I call this a noodle ball. It is 6 tennis balls in a tube sock. If you have a long sock, it works as well. Tube socks just don't have a heel, so it works really great. Pool noodles also work really well. So you can cut an 18-inch piece of pool noodle. Or a towel rolled up can work in desperate times. Also, we'll be using a large ball. This is actually a dog toy, and it's just a rubber ball. In the event description, there's actually a link to this specific ball. They're like $5. You can order them online. They're super cheap, and it lasts forever as long as your dog doesn't get a hold of it. But you can also use a softball or at pet stores, they also sell like large dog-sized tennis balls. Basically what you're looking for is a ball that's got some firmness to it and it's about 3.5 to 4 inch diameter. And I use these in every class. So if you have just a tennis ball or a softball or anything laying around, that can be really useful. Kids' toys sometimes. There's also the air-filled bouncy balls. Those work really well. Or you can wad up like a towel pretty tightly, like a hand towel or something, just to get a little bit of something to shove into your booty. That's what we're working on with the big ball today. So the other thing is you may need a strap, you may not need a strap. That's totally based on your own flexibility with your legs. So if you have one on hand, you think you might need it, go ahead and grab it. Other than that, let's get started. All right. So we're going to take our big ball. First, we're going to loosen up the glutes. Right there at the base of the spine, the pelvis. This all gets really stuck, and it limits our range of motion in our hips, as well as our ability to twist. Tight hips also cause lots of low back tension. So we're going to go into this right glute with your ball. If you have anything firm other than that you can work with, highly recommend. So we're taking that, we're placing it right in the glute, we're right on the edge of the sacrum and just at the bottom, just underneath the hip bone, right? So we're never on bone, always on muscle. We will work along the bone, the attachment sites, but not ever directly on the bone. That hurts. Not that the muscle doesn't sometimes. So we're just allowing that to sink in. We're going to take the same leg that we're working on and we're just placing our ankle to the opposite knee. I like to keep the foot flexed. It makes this lower portion a nice foundational piece. So we're not throwing the sacrum out. We're not loosey-goosey. We're doing this with intention and focus and in integrity. So we're breathing, we're just allowing that ball to sink into the space. As the body begins to accept it, you can begin to move around. And what we're doing, my pattern, I generally work down the edge of the sacrum, over to the trochanter, around the trochanter, and back up the hip. Follow your body's intuition. If you need to go up first, feel free to do that. This is just my usual routine. So I'd like to get right in that corner section of the glute here. So let's see, my screen switched. Hold on. I'll show you my butt. All right, so like right into that sacrum. So this is like the hip bone, right in there. The sacrum is right here, right into this space right here. This is where so much tension is held. And if you get in there, so much relief. This helps with sacral issues, low back pain. It also affects the sciatic nerve, although that's usually impinged more with the piriformis. But this and the piriformis, they work hand in hand. So when we release this space, we get a lot of relief through that low back. And we humans, we sit so much, we don't squat anymore like we used to. You know, we used to live life squatting. And so we have really bad low backs. Our structure is not well designed there for what we do these days. So this is also where we can hold our control issues. So as we're releasing this, we're also releasing our desire or attempts to control. The right side is the outer world and other people. So as we're working on this, we're releasing all of those things that are not for us to try to make happen, try to control. People are going to do what they're going to do. You can only control the self, right? So we're working down along that sacrum. Don't forget to breathe. Move the oxygen, move the breath into the spaces that you find that tension. You can pause, find a little knot, place of tenderness, just pause there. Nice deep breaths. Allow it to sink in, not tensing up everywhere else. If this becomes a little much on your arms, or you find that you're taking it into the neck and shoulders too much, or the pressure is a bit much, you can also do this from a lying position and work it this way. Again, it's all personal preference, body type, what works for you. So working down towards that piriformis. Just allowing it to sink in. And kind of making our way over to the outer edge there, that inside of the trochanter where the leg comes in to the hip socket. I like to add just little bits of movement, just gentle rocking. I might kind of go back over the same places just a little bit, or just really you're exploring it, seeing what's going on in your own body, what's talking when you go there. It starts to go, hey, I've been trying to get your attention for a while. Thanks for checking in. I'm just going to give it some love, some attention. Now, as I start to get over on that trochanter side and I start to make my way back up, I like to dip the knee down a bit and get a little bit more to that side. It's like still the back, but it's kind of the side. Now again, you can do this from a lying position, laying on your side. You can come down to the elbow. Just make sure you're not taking, the tension someplace else in the body while you're trying to release it here. If you're noticing, you're taking it up in the neck and shoulders, do some movements there, or find a, better position that supports the body's release. Now I'm starting to get up, back up to the top region of the hip, and this is where I start to dip a little bit further. And here I do actually like to come down to the side a bit and get that. Breathe the navel, take the leg out along the earth. And I'm supporting myself with my elbow and the opposite hand, and I can control my pressure this way, right? Also this back leg, my foot is planted, so I have this control. All right, and as you make your way through that, as that starts to end, I like to take one more little tour. Do this with most regions and just see if there's any little spot that, like right there, I need just a little bit more. Yes. Also, I'm a bit sunburned. Yesterday I had extreme urge to go out into my yard and lay in the garden naked, which was absolutely delicious and delightful. But my booty got some sunburn. It hasn't been exposed to the sun in a while. All right, so I'm switching sides now, moving over to the left. Again, placing it right in that top little corner along the sacrum, just underneath the hip bone, the crest, and placing my foot on the opposite knee. Just breathing, allowing that to sink in. And I'm inching my way down along that sacrum. There's a spot. So as the right side was outer world, and attempting to control outside forces of other people. This is where we hold the attempts to control the self. So we try to control our emotions or how we show up for other people, how other people see us. We can be controlling them while controlling the self. But no, you're going to perceive me this way, and this is how I'm going to show up to you. Just an example, not a suggestion. So we're allowing that to just release so we can show up in our most purest, truest version of self. With all people, places, things, scenarios, life in general. Making our way down to the pure formats. You may find that one side has more tension than the other. And that will tell you where you're at right now. It will tell you if you're attempting to control them or if you're doing more controlling of self. And from there you can, dive a little bit deeper into what is that? Why is that? And usually process some of the emotions that was creating that scenario. All right, making my way over towards the throat cancer. I'm just going to pause there. I feel that radiating all the way up to my neck, all the way up to the occipitals. You notice that it comes up in the heart space or low back. You'll find that connection sometimes. Releasing the glutes also frees the jaw. And so the neck movement, why it tends to go into the shoulders and neck. The throat chakra, that's how we speak out. So when we're attempting to control, we often are controlling what comes out of our mouths as well. Sometimes it's refusing to say no or refusing to say yes to something. Sometimes it's a refusal or disempowered, feel that we can't speak our truth to someone else. And all the other multiple things that we may or may not allow ourselves to say. So I'm beginning to make my way up onto the side over here. And you're making your way, you're going all the way up to the top portion of that pelvic rim. But you're not crossing over it, then, just in case. Just working along the edges of the bony structures and the meat of the muscle. Roll back through it all. Just check in. Okay. When we're done, we're just going to set that to the side. Just take a moment to check in. I like to give a little bit of love with the hands, you know, dress the tissues, there's a lightness that has come in, and we're going to get our noodle ball. So here we're going to work through the spine, since we'll be twisting momentarily, really opening up this spine. We're going to first address it with some ball work. So you want to get just a little bit of a gap right in the middle, and this is going to allow a space for the spine to be. So there'll be a ball on each side of the spine, and this will go the rest out the outside edges of the back. So we start just above, like right into the QLs, just above the pelvis there. We're just going to come back, get nice and long in the tail. Position those balls on each side of the spine, and then just allow yourself to sink in, dropping the tail down to the earth, and then slowly lowering yourself. And then just take a moment to allow it to come in, you know. The muscles might freak out a little bit at first. And if you need to, you can lift, pressing into the heels, lift the butt a bit. And we're going to find that acceptance as the muscles begin to relax and release. And as that starts to accept, we begin to move. And I just start with a little bit of gentle rocking of the knees side to side. Gets the motion going, a little bit of movement, brings it slightly into the side space of the body. And my motions here as it I like to take the arms up and overhead, really elongating the spine and opening the heart space. Pausing any place that you find this lots of tension. Surrendering into it. Keep that breath moving, really breathing into those tight spaces. Now we're starting to inch our way up. So you can press into the heels slightly, scoot the butt down half inch, inch, and the balls will move up the spine. So I like to pull the knees up and into my chest, or towards the chest. Whoa. The sunburn is at me today. Woo. This again, the further the knees pull in, the more pressure on the balls. The further out they are, the less pressure, so you can control just how much. I like to rock just gently side to side and back and forth, allowing the balls to really massage those QL muscles. And we're making our way up to the base of the ribs. Just find what feels right to your body and what your body is asking for, where your body is actually need to go, and listening to it. Now, as I cross over the base of the ribs and I start to get into the rib cage, I do tend to press into the heels a little bit more, and I'm rocking myself on the balls up and down. Once it crosses over into the heart space, get the pelvis down a little bit more. But there's kind of a teeter point right in the middle, where you get the seesaw action. Just working with what feels right. Just offering suggestions. As I work over that teeter point, right? So now I've got my tail down, I tend to bring the top up a bit. And what I do ideally want to get is where I can get my tail, my sacrum nice on the earth, and also drop the shoulders back and the ribs down. Oh. Oh, I can just feel that tension releasing. And also, you didn't know there was so much back here to do. And those vectors on each side of the spine. Oh, not recommended for sunburned skin right here, but I chose it, so I'm gonna deal with it. And we're just continuing to move up, getting towards that heart space now. Breathe. We're taking the arms up or out, just finding the free movement. What feels good. This is one of my favorites as I really get into this upper region of the heart. I like to press into the heels and I place my hand behind my neck, pulling the neck up and in, chin down towards the chest, and I roll through the space. I usually always get a nice adjustment. Feels so good. Also, as you're crossing over the scapulas, once you are, if you pull the arms in, the elbows towards one another, you really open up the back space of the body and you allow the balls to sink into those rhomboids. So you're working right along the edges of the scapulas, the knees. You can really get those knots of tension in those rhomboids that so many of us have, right? Like, who doesn't have tension in their rhomboids? Show me that person. They get the award. Now there, you reach a point where the bony parts of those scapulas haven't quite crossed over the edgings yet, right? But it's, you know, like, the balls get on the bone right there. So at this point, I like to take the balls and I make a little bit of a V or a U, whatever you call it, and then I place those in the top portion of the upper back. So the lower balls of the V are between those scapulas and those rhomboids still, but the top balls are coming up to the tops of the shoulders. So as I press into my heels and lift my butt, gravity is pressing me into the balls. The balls are sinking into the tops of those traps. Those rhomboids, there's knots of tension in the upper back, the lower portion of the neck, where they come to meet, tops of the shoulders. And you can even lean just to one side, right? And I can, so this ball is going right into that levator scapula, that top muscle that pulls the scapula up. It elevates the scapula, levator. And that trap, you know, so much tension in those traps. So many people hold their stress right there, the weight of the world on the shoulders, right? The opposite side, really good. And just allowing it to sink in, you know, we're just melting over, so we're trying not to hold ourselves tightly in the places that we're working on. Just surrendering to it. Now we're right at that base of the neck, tops of the shoulders, so much tension right here, especially if anyone is their day job, they spend a lot of time on the computer, arms out, the head generally is going forward, leaning towards the screen, you know, computer neck. This space right here really releases so much of that tension that gets built up. You can see right there. So good. So you can just continue to work that, and you can do a little final roll through if you want. I'm just going to finish up with that. Oh, I'm already crackling. That is that end for you. We're just going to toss the balls aside. We're just going to lie down for a moment. Lying flat. Notice the freedom already in the spine, freedom in the shoulders, all melting into the earth. Thank you. Oh. All right, so we're going to pull the knees up and in towards the chest. We're getting this tail nice and long. Now we're going to rock over to this left side. We're going to keep these knees nice and stacked. Now, when we do this, we want to try to keep this top leg. It's going to want to drop back as we twist here. So the idea is we're going to reach through this front knee, right? So we're like kind of reaching, pressing forward. It would be better to have the front knee slightly in front of the bottom knee than to have it behind it, okay? Shooting for even, at least. All right. So position yourself. You've got this left arm straight out in front of you. Right arm is stacked up on top. Nice deep breath in, and on your exhalation, we're going to begin to take this right arm up and overhead. I have to got myself all up in there. All right, so that deep breath in. Exhale, taking this top arm, reaching it up and overhead like a clock. You're going to pause to inhale, and on the exhalation, we're taking it up and over. And we're twisting from the navel up. We're keeping this nice foundation, nice and stable. The knees are stacked. And we're just continuing to move around. We're pausing for inhalation. We're allowing the twist to unfold. We're allowing the ribs to drop back. You might need to lift slightly and get this left shoulder out from underneath the body. I often like to take my left hand as well and go ahead and grip right behind the knee a little bit. This helps my awareness with that knee. So we're continuing to twist and getting that arm straight out beside us. We're looking over to the right with our head. Again, I like to lift the ribs a bit, twist, and then allow them to sink down. Sometimes I take this hand and go ahead and pull the rib cage down a bit. It's almost like I'm pulling this knee and this rib in opposite direction. I'm trying to get this right shoulder to rest onto the earth. The twist is only happening from the navel up. We are not twisting the lower portion. We're not twisting the sacrum, right? Just like a tree, the lower portion of the trunk does not twist. The higher up the tree trunk you go, the more twists you have, the more ability to move in the wind, right? And the branches are more free-flowing like the arms. That lower portion, that bottom base of the trunk, that doesn't move. It's nice and stable. Each breath, you're dropping deeper and deeper into the twist. And then you're finding that point of relaxation. We can just surrender into it. And when we come out, we're going to go just the same way we came into it. We're taking that right arm back up and overhead, maybe on the exhalation. So nice deep breath in. Exhale, slowly begin to unwind. Following just slightly with the gaze up towards the hand. You don't have to see it, but just kind of following with the neck, the head. Untwist, untwist, coming back to the side. And I like to over-exaggerate and twist slightly the opposite direction. As I come back to the side. And then just pausing here for a moment, just feeling it. Rolling back to the back. Another pause. Alright, knees up and in. Again. Knees are stacked. We're rolling to the right this time. Get that nice solid foundation. That top knee is not dropping. Behind the bottom. Reach and extend that right arm straight out in front of you. Stack the left. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. Beginning to take that clock. Pausing to inhale. Twisting from the navel up, dropping those ribs down towards the earth. Oh. 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 Slight lift if you need to get those ribs and that shoulder out from underneath the body. Checking in with those knees. Oh. Surrendering, just finding that relaxation moment. Releasing all the tension in the body and just no fight, no struggle. Oh. And then nice deep breath in and we start to unwind. Moving on the exhalation. Pause. Rolling back to the back. Oh. Oh. Okay, so this, you may need your strap here. Knees up and in towards your chest. Get that tail nice and long. We're going to take our strap, we're going to place it over the front wall of the right leg. Nice deep breath. And then exhale, you're going to reach and extend this leg up towards the ceiling. You're going to drop this foot. You're going to take a moment just to warm up this leg for a moment. Allow it to have a little bit of opening. We've not done any leg work. We're just going to just encourage it for a moment. Do a little side to side. Just a little circle. Pull the toes towards the face. Just a little opening. Just tuck it to it. Then I like to take the knee bent one more time. And then reach and extend. And we're going to reach and extend this bottom leg straight along the earth, really reaching through that heel. Now we're going to really press through the heel of this right leg. We're going to take the strap into our left hand. Strap. All right. Now from here, we're going to take the strap, taking this right leg over to the left. The shoulder is down on the earth. It may pop up. That's okay. Taking this all the way down. Again, twisting at the navel. Now you may find you can reach and grab the upper part of your strap. If you can just grab your foot, grab the foot. Again, try to get that shoulder out from underneath the body. We're twisting from the navel. Keep that solid base foundation extending through each heel of each leg. And we're looking over to the right, extending that twist all the way up through the cervicals. Pressing through both heels. Nice stretch through that hip, through that hamstring, Oh. Just a few breaths here. And when you're ready, you can just grab your strap again and untwist. Grab it with the right hand. And we're going to reach and extend it back up to the ceiling. Keeping that solid foundation and extension through both feet. Then you release your strap. Switch legs. Both knees in. Strap over the left foot. Follow the foot. Let the right. Reach and extend through that heel. Again, we're just opening it up for a moment. Just giving it a little attention, waking it up. Slightly forward, side to side. Hello. Knee. Releasing. And one more time, nice deep breath in. Exhale, press and extend through that heel. Reach the right heel along the earth. Really press through both heels. Take the strap into the right hand. On your exhalation, you're dropping that left leg over to the right. Again, the shoulder might pop up off the earth. The twist is from the navel up. You might have to position the upper portion of the body, allowing that twist. Looking over to the left. Inch up on your strap or grab the foot. Then surrendering. Alright, grabbing that strap one more time. We're slowly untwisting here. Grabbing the strap with our left hand, rolling back to center. Bend the knee, release the foot. Take a moment to pause. Roll over to our side, using our hands to come up. We kind of come to sitting. All right, so we're cross-legged here. We're going to take our left leg. We're taking that foot. Excuse me. We're crossing it over, placing it on the earth, on the outside edge of the right leg. Now from here, we're beginning our twist. So we're getting those sits bones down on the earth really nice and firmly first. All right, so we're not all lumpy. All right, we get a nice stable foundation. Nice deep breath. And we're going to just, from the navel up, we're starting to twist. We're starting to look over that left shoulder. We're going to take that right elbow and place it behind the left knee. And you can press away from the knee to extend the twist. You can also pressing with the left hand into the earth, furthering the twist. Moving on each exhalation just a little bit deeper. Yes. And then we're just slowly coming out. And we're going to take our right hand, we're going to grab the outside edge of this left leg. Now we're going to reach and extend. All right, now we're going to continue this twist one more time. Reaching that left arm back, looking over that left shoulder, twisting from the navel up, extending through the heel. And release. We're going to slowly up in this twist. Like we again twist the opposite direction a little bit. All right, now we're going to switch sides. So left leg on the bottom, left knee is bent, taking the right foot, ankle out to the side of that left knee. Again, we're just slowly starting to push off of this left knee, or right knee, excuse me. Rotating those ribs from the navel up. And then as we get into the twist a little deeper, taking that left arm, placing the elbow on the right knee, pressing off, and pressing into the earth with the right hand. Furthering that twist. Go for it. Like a dirty rag, you know, like a wet rag just being wrung out. Oh. Unwinding a bit, taking the right hand, the left hand, and grabbing the right outer edge of the foot. Reach and extend through that heel. Moving back over that right shoulder. Reach and extend that right arm out. Now I'm kind of, so right here, I'm taking this right arm further back, and I'm also pulling with this arm slightly over to the left, right? On the leg. So I'm and then as it ends, we're just releasing, coming back to center, and then slightly past center with the twist. All right. Okay. Now we're going to do some Zen. This one is always fun to teach and always fun to try. It is awkward and it is wonderful. So we're going to come to all fours. First, we're going to do just a little bit of free movement because we've been on the floor, not really had full body movement, you know, obviously the ringing, but we're just going to kind of check in with the body. Free movement, I like to take it forwards, backwards, cat-cow, child. I like to circle the hips, clockwise and counterclockwise. Just whatever your body says to you, just find some movement. I like to snake the spine. Just a little wiggle room. All right. Now, coming to all fours, the hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips. I'm going to demonstrate this really quickly and then we'll move through it. So first, we're going to inhale this right arm up and then we're going to drop it through the eye of the needle is what we're calling it, okay? So we'll drop down, we'll do that 3 times and then the last time we'll drop all the way down to the shoulder, okay? So nice deep breath in. Now while we're doing it, we're twisting. Remember, we're twisting from the navel up. So we're really extending that twist and then extending the twist in the opposite direction. So nice deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale this right arm up. We're twisting. We're reaching all the way up to the ceiling. Really trying to keep that pelvis nice and stable. Exhale. Dropping down and through. Now right here, I like to take my hips slightly to the right. It helps extend the twist. Inhale back up. One more time. Well, two more times. Exhale. All the way through. Taking those hips slightly to the right. Inhale one more time this time. Reaching straight up to the ceiling. Really twisting. I press into the left hand. Exhale. Reaching through the eye of the needle. Taking those hips slightly to the right. Now this is where it gets fun. All right, so you're getting that shoulder nice and as far out under the body as you can. Now we're taking this left leg. So you're balanced on this right shoulder and the left or the right knee. We're taking this left toe out towards the fingertips. Doesn't have to be at the hand, just reaching and extending through that heel. All right, the twist, the clock. We're stacking that left hand on top of the right. Nice deep breath in. On your exhalation, we're taking it up and over. Now you'll have to work with this a little bit because you're going to roll towards the back of the neck. You're tucking the chin into the chest. Challenging to speak this out while doing it. Again, moving on the exhalations. Tuck that chin in towards the chest. Keep it centered. And you're dropping back towards the tops of the shoulders. Keep the extension through this heel. It'll keep you from flipping over. If you roll out, it is okay. You can try again or wait till next time. We're coming in. Both of my arms are straight out. I'm sitting on the tops of my shoulders. My chin is in and towards my chest. I'm reaching, extending through this heel. Now I can gas pedal it. With the heel, it presses me. So I get a nice stretch through those erectors, those muscles along the spine. Allow the twist, allow the movement, or don't allow the movement when they're tight. And the way you come out of that, I like to slowly and controlled do this where I roll myself down, and you may just totally flop out. It's all good. Did not, and I cannot do this always. I did not get here in one day, I promise. I'm rolling down one vertebrae at a time, if possible. And then just come to rest for a moment. Move those knees. Opposite twist, just slightly. Woo! So good at that upper back. Told you it was fun. All right, we got another side to do. Again, coming to all fours, just checking in. The twist that we just did. Get a little wiggle. All right. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. This time, we're doing the left arm. I'm going to inhale that up. Really reaching up towards the ceiling. Exhale. Reaching out as far as you can. Taking the hips slightly left. Inhale. Exhale. I elongate my breath here, obviously. Third time, dropping down. Really take those hips over to the left. Pressing into the shoulder. All right, preparing for Zen. Getting this arm, the shoulder, slightly out in front of the body as much as possible. Stacking. Wait, actually, let's get our foot out, right? So we're taking the right foot and just walking it out. All right, prepare the chin to come in and towards the chest. Taking this top arm, nice deep breath in, and moving on the exhalations. Dropping towards the tops of the shoulders, pausing to inhale. Keep reaching through that heel. Chin towards the chest. You're going to find that place where your arms, you can get them straight out to your sides. My knee, leg, so my left leg, it's like whisper here. My left leg, my toes are actually on there, and they're a support as well as the extended leg. Holding it until it is for you, however long that may be. And then again, when you're ready to come out, we're just trying to slowly roll down, keeping the extension. I can't roll as slowly on that side as the other. And just taking a moment. Okay. Yes. All right. So where are we at? Okay. So we're going to come to all fours. We're going to just move up into a down dog really quickly. So nice. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Drop that head and neck. Take the toes under. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, pressing into the toes, lifting the knees, taking the hips back. Lift those toes if you can. I like to take movement here. All right, so we're going to take the left leg. We're going to reach and extend it straight back behind us. Then we're going to open up these hips. Open up to the front. We're really pressing in the right arm here because that is our strong arm. That is where most of the weight is. We're looking underneath that right armpit. Now we're bending that straight leg, the left leg. We're just going to start taking it back behind the body. The hips are open to the front. And we're going to drop that knee. Just allow the leg to hang back behind the body. When you're ready to come out, you're going to reach and extend that leg right straight back behind you. Reach through that heel. Now we're rotating the hips back to center before we drop the leg down. If you need to come down and reset the arms here, you can come back down to your knees and then come back into down dog. I'm just going to go straight in. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. Reach and extend that right leg. Straight back behind the body. Ha. Ha. Rotating the hips open. Ha. So the hips are stacked one on top of the other here. Now the right leg starts to come back behind the body, really pressing into this left arm. And we're dropping that knee. Allow the leg to hang. We're looking underneath the left armpit. And when that ends, reach and extend the legs straight out behind the body again. Rotate the hips back to center. Drop the foot to the earth. You're going to just come right back down. And take a moment to take a little child's pose. Oh. All right. We're going to come back up to all fours. Drop that head and neck. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're coming back into down dog. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, pressing into the toes, taking the hips up and back. Ha. Ha. Oh. Then we're going to slowly start to walk our hands back towards our feet. We're going to come into a standing forward bend. All the weight starts to come into the heels. We're just going to hang here for a moment. Upper body is nice and loose. I'm going to slowly roll up. One vertebrae at a time. Allow the upper portion of the body to just hang. All right. One last thing before we dive off into Shavasana. I think I'm going over. All right, so similar to the last twist that we just did, we're going to take this, all the weight is coming into the right foot. Grounding through the outer edges of the heel, four corners of the foot. We're going to slightly allow this foot to come off of the earth. Now we're going to, I always think of this as those like the birds that drink the water, the little toy things that like dip, right? The body is staying in alignment with the leg. This leg is free movement, right? But nice and firm, reaching through the heel. We're slowly coming forward, bringing the hand down towards the earth as we dip. So you can plant your fingers if you need a block here. I'm like dangling into the curtain. All right, so as you get firmly planted, hands on the earth, we're rotating the hips open. Rotate the hips open. Rotate the hips open. Reach and extend. Ha. The arm is straight up. Now, if you can from here, we're rotating and looking up towards the ceiling. Ha. Ha. And just come out as it feels natural to you. Shake it off. One more leg. One more leg. Do mine this way. All right, coming, really grounding through the feet. Left leg this time. Taking all the weight into that left leg. The right leg becomes loose. The hip is slightly raised. Grounding through that left foot. We're slowly taking the foot back. I'm liking gonna hit. There we go. The hands, fingertips dropping towards the earth. All right, extend through that heel, really grounding through the four corners of the foot. I haven't actually done this in a while myself. I'll reverse there, and we're rotating the hips open. Can we do it? Can we do it? Reach and extend the right arm straight up towards the ceiling. Ha. Opening up the front of the body. Ha. Ha. Rebound. Rebound. Ha. Not sure I can do the left leg. If you can get the arms straight up and you can look at the ceiling, do it. Not today, not for me. All right, come out when you're ready. If you're not already out, and we're just gonna come to Shavasana. Highly recommend taking the legs up the wall for rest for this, because we've done so many twisting. It's really easy, even though we were really trying to be protective of the sacrum. We might have thrown something out a little bit. So highly recommend bring your mat up to a wall. You can also do this on a chair, on a bed, any place that you can get your legs up. You're just taking your bum in towards the wall. Taking your legs up the wall. And surrendering. So as you sink in, I'm just going to allow you to drift off from the space. I'm going to give you a little bit of drumming, and I'm going to allow you to just come out whenever you're ready. I'm going to have to sign off because there is another class. I'll give you just a moment. So allow yourself to sink into the earth, fully supported. The body is, the electricity is just resonating up that spine. Whoosh. You can feel it just like up and down, up and down. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today. Please just drift off as long as you feel you need to in your Shavasana, and just come out really slowly when you do. and just check in with that spine. Notice the newfound freedom and what you've just wrung out. Thank you so much. Namaste. Have a wonderful day.